From coast to coast, I'm your host, Palma N'Sheluvzit, and welcome to Oriac Live. Tonight's guest is the retiring president of Salon Magazine, an inspiration to us all in the industry, and a very dear friend of mine, Laura Dunphy. Welcome, Laura. How are you tonight?
Hey, Palma, so great to see you. I'm so excited to be here tonight chatting with you and sending a special thanks to Oriac. And you know, there's nothing I love more than chatting about our industry with one of my favorite industry peeps, being you.
Oh, stop it. I just praise down to you, from when I was a little girl. I told you this story many years ago, how I used to sit in my father's barbershop and he prescribed over to Salon Magazine, and I would see your picture in there and I would be like, wow, like, who is this woman? This is amazing. As a young female in the industry, where I saw, my father and other male artists dominate, and here I was watching you, and you were my inspiration. And I want to thank you in front of everyone tonight for actually saying yes to meeting me at a very young age in my career. And you did. You came to meet me for lunch one day and you changed my career. And only with a few words that you shared with me over some Greek salad. And I want everyone to have a piece of that tonight. I don't want to only be the lucky one, Laura. Let's share a little bit of what was happening over that Greek salad with everyone here on Oriac Live. What do you say?
Oh, listen, I think that's fantastic. And I really look forward to hopefully we'll get lots of people firing away some questions to both of us, actually, and participating, because that was really, I have an opportunity to meet a lot of people coast to coast. That's probably one of my favorite things about the job. But I do remember meeting you that afternoon so clearly for that Greek salad out in Scarborough. And but you know what it is? What's the thrill for me is meeting someone like you, because I want to pass the baton and to encourage people like you and your whole group and your network to reach out to us, industry people, and so we can relate and share. And you were just coming, I have to tell you, and so for everybody that's watching us, you're a pretty bright ticket yourself. You just brought in a wonderful energy. I could say I'd been around a while, but when we saw you that day, I just thought, this young woman's going to rock. Like, she's checking all the boxes. And you started with the first thing was just reaching out. You networked through somebody that we both knew. And, I think that was just smart on your part and clever. And look, all these years later, and actually at the Contessa's, and you may want to tell that story a little bit later, not only a winner, but we've become great pals. So very fond memories for me.
And thank you, Laura. And I think that's the point of tonight's talk, too. I took my courage and I silenced my fear, because I think we all do that when we start out. We have questions, we want to know, and it's okay to reach out to somebody who you admire. It's okay to say, hey, can you be my mentor? Can you just guide me in the right direction? And so for everyone who's watching tonight, please ask us a question. Don't be shy. We have the answer. You're either going to get a yes or a no. And if we don't know, we will find out for you. Right, Laura?
Excellent point. I couldn't agree more.
Right. I do want to also mention, before we get into all those nitty-gritty questions I have ready for you, but we do have some exciting news for tonight. We have a watch and win. As tonight's interview with you, Laura, continues, I want everyone to pay close attention to all the details, as we have a trivia question at the end of the show for your chance to win a pair of 6-inch Casio Chrome Series shears valued at $525. So stay tuned tonight, everyone, and you will have your opportunity to enter your answers in at info@oriac.ca, and it ends on Friday the 22nd. So stay tuned to the end of the show for the question. Thanks, Laura.
Hey, that's great. Listen, I just got to say, a shameless plug for Casio. I mean, I literally have known Casio for absolutely ever. And I mean, I will say to all the viewers, these are amazing shears. I mean, they have a multitude of shears, but these are shears that you can have for a lifetime. So it's a very nice prize. And so I say go for it, because it's really worth it. Your shears are one of your most important tools.
Absolutely. Now, Laura, with 47 years in the industry as your career,
Where did you get that number?
right? Right? Well, listen, you've been able to view the industry through many lenses. Tell
Yep.
me, what do you think our industry needs now? This is a deep question, but I want to know, is it networking? Is it community? Tell me about that.
Well, I think we're going through a change in our industry. As you said, 47 years. And yes, I confess, I did the math, and I actually started beauty school in September. It's like so many students hopefully are getting geared up to go back to school in September, 47 years ago. My God, it was like I was a kid, obviously, because I'm still a kid at heart. But back to your question, Palma. We're really going through a really big change right now. In all these years, I've never seen such a massive change in our industry. I mean, the other probably massive other change was probably as I just got involved in the industry was the advent of like Vidal Sassoon cuts and blow dries, throw
Yeah.
away those old big old dryers and roller sets that your grandmother had done, and everybody was moving away. I mean, that really changed the industry forever. But
Yeah.
what we've come through, and I think particularly in Canada and coast to coast, I mean, the pandemic's been really tough for everybody. And I think, the sense of networking and the sense of community is bigger now than ever. And I can say that I have, many chats. Even last week, I had a chat with an industry friend of mine, and the week before, I'm always chatting with people. It's
Right.
in my DNA. And people need to talk to each other. And I think there's a lot of questions. People are questioning where they're going. What, do I stay? Do I go? What should I do? Should I close? Should I open? There's a million questions. And your network and your community probably means more to you than ever. I think the other thing, and maybe to preface this, is by also, speaking about the concern about, we're having a bit of a labor shortage right now. We need to be able to drive and encourage young hairstylists to come to get into the industry, go to beauty schools. I mean, there's no career like it. And hopefully we can touch on that a little bit later, Palma. But it's really important that we want to be able to fill up our salons again. And, because we know clients are out there. They haven't gone anywhere. Hair still grows. And we want to be able to ensure and let our, if anybody's looking for a career change or an opportunity, this is look, I've had 47 years. I'm a kid from Newfoundland, for God's sake. I mean, you want to talk about the industry treating us well, and it's treated many of us well. And there's plenty of people out there who've made tons of money.
Absolutely.
So I'd say, get it together, and let's talk a little bit more about networking communities. So fire away if you have any questions on that.
Yes, I think that's great, Laura. And again, touching on how we opened up the show is networking, communicating. And now we have even a greater platform, social media. There's nothing stopping us for connecting. Even if you just reach out to even one person in our industry and just say, hey, how's it going? And don't be shy to admit what you're actually experiencing, because you're not alone. None of us are alone. You saw the effects while throughout the pandemic through the magazine, and we're seeing it behind the chair, behind closed doors. And just reaching out to another colleague, peer, and just saying, how's it going for you at your shop? Or how was your transition into closing your shop, and how are you feeling? It's just a simple question, but yet it still keeps us all connected.
Yep. I totally agree. I mean, calling up somebody and saying, I mean, there's many ways of, first of all, networking is really almost the DNA of the industry. Networking is so good for all of us, because a lot of times, we may be working in smaller salons, or we're working on our own. There's only a couple of us. And a lot of times it's your network that really gives you that level of support. And whether you're doing it from a mentorship, maybe you're a younger stylist, or maybe you're thinking about opening or closing, you may need to you want to reach out to someone that maybe has a little bit more experience. I can assure you that in your neighborhood or within your area, many hairstylists are more than happy to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and just talk about, to your point, Palma, what is going on. And it's the same thing, networking equals community. As you build your network, you build your community. And it's healthy to be part of a community. We should not be isolated. We are not islands. We're very social beings. And again, I think this summer when I've talked with some people, I realize there's a lot of people feeling very alone right now. So I really, encourage, just like you say, have that coffee talk. Maybe it's one person, maybe later on, another month, it's going to be 2 or 3 people. But it's a wonderful, valuable thing. And it will lift you and motivate you, because dealing with clients every single day can be challenging, right? And it's draining. So you need to be able to put some more gas back in, in the can, so to speak.
Absolutely, Laura, you said it right. We are not little islands. We are one big continent as an industry. And I remembered you and I speaking recently, and we kind of came up with our own title for the show, Can You Handle the Truth? And I think you nailed it on the head. People ask me all the time, like, how did you stay inspired throughout, lockdowns? And I was doing live IGs talking to people within my industry. In fact, several of them that were not my friend per se. There were just people I knew of in the industry, but I was so curious to understand how they were staying inspired. And in turn, it was keeping me inspired. Even tonight, mind you, I mean, you're an icon in our industry, Laura, and this is on the bucket list for me. This inspires me to push harder and push further. And I cannot wait for other people to hear this. And please, if anybody has further questions, anything they want to share with us, even a comment, you guys know where to send us their questions or comments. We'd love to hear from them. We do have a question from Sarah from Oshawa. I'd love to share with you, Laura. So here we are. How much has continuing your education in the industry help get you to where you are today? Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's I was really lucky. I would, I went to Los Angeles as a kid because I had an aunt that lived there and went to beauty school. And then when I came back to Newfoundland, my sister said, there's a really good school over in England. We hear everybody's talking about it. It's called Sassoon's. Maybe we can, Laura might want to go over there. The pound was really low at the time. And thank God my dear mother said, yeah, okay. And, like, going to Sassoon just opened my eyes to education. And of course, once I got there, I realized like what an opportunity I had. But what I do know, and ever since then, and I worked with my sister, we would travel, and part of anytime we travel together, we would always make it a point to go to a major hair show. We knew how important it was. And especially living on an island. And I will say that our distributors there, like Oriac Beauty Supplies, were great in bringing in, guest artists. But, it's really important to get outside and to educate and really broaden your scope. I mean, I like to compare a lot of life experiences to restaurants and foods because they're my 2 favorite things. I love everything about food. But, if you only eat, one type of food and you just, whatever your thing is, how do you ever possibly experience other things? So you have to go out and take other education programs, and that's part of networking, getting to know other people, and whether it's in Canada, in your own province. I mean, there's so many ways of doing it, and virtually now there's no reason, but it is the cornerstone of any hairstylist, because we're only getting about, I think, 1,600 to 2,000 hours in school across Canada, and that's just the training ground. I'll just be really clear about that. That's so minimal. That's just, you're barely learning how to shampoo and apply a color.
Right.
I'll be really brutal about that. If people think we're going to come out of school and you're just going to really absolutely know everything, that's unreasonable, because hairstyling is complex. There's many, we all know that. And you need to hone your skills, do it again and again, and all part of education.
Absolutely, Laura. When you and I had that lunch date, it was a few years after I had graduated from beauty school. And yes, everyone knows I'm a daughter of a barber, but it took me a few years to find my it.
Yes.
And every hairstylist, and they know they have an it. They know I'm a cutter, I'm a colorist, or I love to do all of them, or I'm really great at doing one specific area. And as much as I love doing everything, I know my it has always been avant-garde. I know that's, as we spoke during that lunch meeting, you said to me, one thing, Palma, you don't want to use chicken wire from Home Depot. And I quickly put my arm under the table because I had all these scratches from the chicken wire. And I'm like, how did she know? Was she watching me?
I
You
did
know,
a lot of chicken wire over the years.
you must have heard enough about chicken wire, but they're actually garbage cans right behind my head here. And that's what I use. And, and that's where I went to classes and I learned from other artists what they did to get to that point of their artistry. So to her question about education, has it helped to where you are today? It's a yes.
Oh,
Any education, even if it's free online, go to every hair show you can possibly go to. You never know who you're going to meet.
that's right. And you know what I will add to that is you nailed it. There's many ways to, experience education. But, I just, we could just do a whole show just on education. So we'll try to keep it tight. But, one thing I will say, I mean, working at Salon Magazine for all the years and the Contessa Awards, I've had the opportunity to meet obviously some of the best hairstylists in the country. And you know what? I see these hairstylists when I go to Salon International in London, or whether I'm down in Los Angeles or Vegas. And guess what? Most of these really big names that we all know, they're all going off doing extra classes. I mean, I always find that so exciting. I mean, you're at the top of your game. You've already got 25 plus years of experience. They still continue to go because it's motivating. It grows. So it's just taking your basket of knowledge and growing and growing. And whether it is you want to learn how to do simple haircuts, or, refresh your color, or you want to get into avant-garde, education there's so many ways, but sitting around doing nothing is really not an option. You will not grow. And it's like not having water. You just simply won't grow and develop.
Yeah, you said it right, Laura. We have another question that came in, and this is one I would love to hear your answer on. Came in anonymously. Do you think the industry will get back to normal after this pandemic?
Oh, yes. No doubt.
Let's hope.
I think there's going to be changes, and I don't think the changes are going to be easy. I think we've had a bit of a flattening. We know that, and some salons may shut down. But again, the population hasn't changed. Hair still grows. And if you're showing, and I know there's this big movement about people growing out gray hair, and that's great too, because that can be beautiful. But for as many women that are growing out their gray hair, there's lots of people who want gray, who want hair color. For every service that's done, you can tackle it. And I do, but what we need to do, we need to find a way to work smartly. We have clients out there that there's probably more clients probably than there are hairstylists. So this is an amazing opportunity to get, no matter what type of business you want to be in. If you're going to be just sweets, hopefully it's just not a pure basement business. I'm not always sure that's really always the best option, but our business has an opportunity to thrive, because something the internet has, or I should say the pandemic has taught us, and really the internet, let's look at what's happened with e-commerce. Let's look at what, education, but really when we look at e-commerce, what we did see were buying habits of women were very interested in buying luxury brands. We've seen a higher ticket price for shampoos and conditioners that is stratospheric. And if people are prepared to pay that kind of money for shampoo and styling products, there's certainly, because the type of salon that will carry that, if you're going to be carrying a high-end brand, or these people that have been all buying these expensive products, they now want to know where to find it within their salons. And believe me, I believe when people are walking by a salon, they see their favorite brands in there, they will go in and buy it. And now our job is to practice our pitch with our clients and making it interesting for them to return and offering them an exceptional experience. That's where we've got to change. So it's up to us to give that exceptional experience, because the clients out there, I think, are ready to come back.
I couldn't agree with you more, Laura. You're giving me shivers as you're saying this, because I long for that. Everybody who has followed me throughout the pandemic saw that I was encouraging people to come back. And I'm not just talking about the clients. I'm talking about stylists. Come back to our salons. Come back to the home that started your career, because the clients love being in the salon. They love the experience, the aroma, the atmosphere, the energy. It's something special to be said when somebody leaves their home, which they've been stuck in for how many years now, and coming out of their home into a safe, clean environment, because we have always been safe, we have always been clean, and we will always be their home. So I encourage stylists to listen and hear and share with one another. If you feel, how do I get back into a salon? You can even ask me, reach out to me at Palma for Hair. I'm happy to answer any questions. If I have the answers, I will give them. But we need to come together as an industry and get back to the salon. In saying that, I do want to say, Laura, this is the hot topic question. And this is where I came to you how many years back and said, Laura, I want to meet with you. I would love to know, how do I get involved with competing for the Contessas? It is a dream of mine to be a winner, to enter. I don't know where to start. Laura, tell us the tips and tricks to entering the Contessas or getting involved. Where do we begin?
Well, I think it starts with a plan. And if you're interested in entering Contessas or any competition, like it starts right now. By the way, the entry deadline's coming up really fast, which is September. But you know what? You have a plan in place. You think about. I always recommend start simple. Work at what you're really good at. If you're really good at styling, I mean, Palma, you jumped into avant-garde, and I want you to jump in with your 2 cents worth. But think about what you're really good at and the type of aesthetic that you have. Get your tear sheets out. Think about the color you want. Start practicing on mannequins. Find a great model. She doesn't have to be the prettiest model, but the interesting bone structure and hair that you can work with, and of course a good photographer. And I will say this, photo competitions are always a little bit, some people say, oh, it's all about the photographer. The photographer cannot salvage bad hair or if it's not done well. So it has to be well executed. The photographer can do so much for you and with you, but your skills have to show up. But I would say if you don't have a lot of experience, keep it really simple. Keep the fashion styling really simple. I mean, we've seen girls, models with, just your shoulders exposed or minimal neck. You don't focus on the hair, focus on clean makeup, make it modern. Look at what fashion magazines are doing. God, you can get so much information online. Start practicing shooting with your iPhone, talk to your photographer, book your day, and just do it. But honestly, if you don't have a lot of experience, keep it simple. And look at what wins, but look at what wins around the world. I really encourage people to look at British Hairdresser. I mean, it's a very well respected. I personally, love the editorial feel, but just go into your comfort zone, because if you go too far out, it may be, I hate to say it, a bit of a costly, experience for you. And I would also say simply making finals can be pretty darn valuable.
Absolutely. I could tell you that much for sure. I entered several times. Yes, won twice, which is a huge honor, and many nominations, and from other competitions around the world. Those opportunities were far greater in my life, in my career, being nominated and have won. But what I really want to talk about too is once you get to that point, and I want people to also keep in mind, like, my collections weren't overly costly. I used stuff that I found at thrift stores. I used my imagination. Like I said, I pointed out my collection behind me here was made with a garbage can from the dollar store. I put down the chicken wire like you told me to. But once I got to that point, I really wanted to become published. Laura, this is another question I have for you, which is hard copy versus social media. And how do you kind of bring those two together, and the importance, which I believe is still needed, is a hard copy magazine, having that publication, getting involved with magazines that way?
Well, I'm not saying that just I came from a publishing world. I mean, I do confess I still read magazines. I mean, I'm tactile. I love that. But, magazines, first of all, for beauty, for beauty, for fashion, for hair. I mean, there's nothing like the experience of looking at a double page spread. Whatever your favorite magazine, whether it's Nylon, Vogue, or Harper's Bazaar, anything from the Met Gala, seeing those images in the high gloss pages, there's no feeling like it. Seeing your images published in a hair magazine, there's nothing like it. Is the ultimate validation. And I believe magazines work hand in hand with social media. It's not one without the other. One
Right.
supports the other. So, when I'm on Instagram and, I was recently hacked on that's why we're not talking about my Instagram tonight. But when you're on Instagram, it's great because it can give you a flood of information. But if you really want to be able to experience and study hair and take a good look at it, the magazine is kind of where it's at, where you really have that very rich experience. People have an experience with their with magazines, especially magazines such as Salon, because we talk to Canadian hairstylists and really hairstylists around the world. But our real mandate is to speak with Canadians, and we talk about what's important to them, and whether it's it's hair, whether about running your business, or it's about contestants or entering, or all those things. All those topics are covered. But when you want to get that other slice and that quick fix, we go over to social media, and we go to whether it's web-based or it's going to be social media-based, whether it's going to be Instagram, TikTok. Those are other such fun, playful bits that you can get. So they all work together. But you just think about that when hairstylist images start landing on the covers of magazines, covers and inside, it's the ultimate validation, because someone as an editor, a senior editor, has tons of images landing in her inbox of her of her computer, and she has to make a selection she thinks is going to be, or she or he will be, what's going to be the most important image that we can put, whether it's on our cover or in our editorial lineup. We call that the well of the magazine. And what does that image look like? Is that speaking? Is that showing today? Is it progressive? Is that showing the image that we really, really respect and we love? And when you get that kind of a nod, I think it's pretty powerful, and it just speaks. We love to be able to salute the beautiful work that we get, in Canada and from all over.
You said it, Laura. I definitely did exactly what you said. I opened up my favorite hair magazines, and some even not hair magazines, fashion magazines, and I went straight to the page where it says who's the editor, and I found whoever was in charge of the photos, and I did a little bit of research on who they were in the company, and I sent them emails. I'll even go as far back as, to be honest with you, I actually sent them hard-covered pictures as well. So,
I mean, anything to try to stand out from all the noise, right?
Right, because I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this old school. Let's put the pictures in an envelope. Let's put a stamp on it, a little note saying would love to have the opportunity to be amongst your work, your art, your magazine. And I cannot tell you how many publications I have. I stopped counting, because for me, it was a legacy for my family, to honor my father for all his hard work over the years. Those photos being published were for him. And I made that my career goal, was to make him proud of what he showed me. And I will never stop. I will keep pushing through, even when I cannot tell you how many have gotten no's. But for everyone,
you brought that up. That's really important to know, because rejection is part of it. And this is what Palma had said earlier. I'm sure she's going to come back to it. But it's about, can you handle the truth? Because sadly, sometimes you get images. First of all, they may not be right. Maybe they're seasonal. I mean, if you're shooting a winter collection, but you're sending it to us, in the summer. Remember, magazines now, web, of course, can publish anything pretty instantly, but certainly for print, you need about a 3-month deadline. But so you be mindful of that. And also, sometimes it just may not be the right time. Sometimes there's many reasons why your image may not have gotten selected, but don't take it to heart. But if you're really not sure, and you say, gosh, I've been trying this for a while, if you know, or if you're comfortable and you run into that person, at the magazine or wherever, and you be comfortable saying, look, I just want to ask you a little bit about it. Have you any thoughts or any pointers on it? I think it's always okay. We want to see everybody improving and having the kind of work, like you say, to get published. But sometimes it could be just some very small tweaks that might need to be done with a collection.
Absolutely, Laura. Thank you so much for answering those questions. I do want to know one more thing. What was the highlight of your career at Salon Magazine?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I can even. There'll never just be one highlight. I mean, it's a accumulation of highlights all throughout the years. I mean, That's actually almost impossible. I would think that, meeting Vidal Sassoon probably, because I'd gone to school there, was probably a huge highlight. I mean, that was just an industry career. But I think is about hearing the amazing stories from all the hairstylists I talk to. And when I hear them talking about their passion for the industry, that thrills me as much as when the day I sat next to Vidal Sassoon and shook his hand. So that would be a pretty big highlight in my life.
And in Vidal's words, I think he would say after a haircut, now shake it. Right? Now, Laura, here's a little something special just for you from a few of your colleagues that saw that you were coming on Oriac Live and wanted to share some messages just for you.
Hey Laura, I'm not sure how a 29-year-old has a 47-year career in the professional beauty industry, but good on you. Not sure I'm buying this whole retirement thing, but I do wish you well, good luck, and hopefully we'll run into you someday soon.
Happy retirement to you. Happy retirement to you. Happy retirement to you, Laura. Happy retirement to you.
Wishing you all the best. When they said you were in the industry for 47 years, I can't believe it because you must have started when you were 3 years old. That makes no sense to me. But wishing you all the best in retirement. Enjoy and stay healthy. Bye.
What he said.
Same.
Be well.
Bye, Laura.
Bye.
Laura, congratulations on your retirement. You've worked so hard. You deserve this. I wish you all the best in the future, and please keep in touch.
Hey Laura, congratulations from outside one of your favorite places. It's been a pleasure to know you. I've been privileged to have worked from you from the start of your career right through to the finish, everywhere from your salon here in Newfoundland to working with you on the ABA board. Congratulations. Enjoy. Cheers.
Hi Laura, it's Kenny Wise. I look like hell because I took a red eye from Cosmoprof. I didn't see you, and that was sad, and I guess I gotta start getting used to it. I'm getting old. I was thinking about it. I've known you since you worked with Joan Harrison, and however long I've known you, it has not been long enough, and you've been a good friend through all the years in this industry. We've had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy your earned retirement, and please keep in touch, and you have our love and admiration. Take care.
Hello, Laura Dunphy, the love of my life. I adore you. Congratulations. I didn't know people in this industry could retire, but you have proven that we can, and you will be so missed. You are so loved, so respected. You and I have a lot of our own personal stories I will not share unless somebody, of course, wants to pay me. But I absolutely adore you. You have been such a huge mentor to so many of us in this industry and so many women in this industry. And thank you for that. You are adored. Congratulations, my love.
Laura, I'm so happy for you. Your retirement is so well deserved. You had such a successful career and you've helped so many people. You've left a very indelible mark on the professional beauty industry here in Canada and everywhere in the world where you got involved. So I'm gonna miss you. The whole industry is gonna miss you. I wish you a great retirement, lots of traveling, visiting with friends, no more work. Have a great time. Happy retirement.
Huge congratulations, Laura. We're so happy and proud to have been able to work with you over the years, and it's been our honor, and we hope you enjoy your retirement. We'll miss you, we love you, and thanks for everything you've done for the beauty industry.
Oh my gosh. All right, Palma. Oh boy, that was unbelievable. I'm grinning from ear to ear, feeling the love, and I'm seeing comments coming. This is just, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. Thank you so much to you and Oriac for, oh my gosh, I'm speechless. You know, I'm not very often speechless, so thanks very much. But you know, I'm always going to be lurking around, so I look forward to seeing everybody.
Absolutely, Laura. Congratulations. And here we are wishing you all the best. For myself, with all my heart, how much I love you and care for you, not only as a colleague, a woman, an inspiration, an icon in our industry. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity to send you off the right way with sharing all your fantastic knowledge, and enjoy your retirement. Congratulations, Laura. Thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody for the kind words. It means the world to me. It's been an amazing industry, and cheers to everybody working within this industry, and continue to enjoy it and to make it strong and proud, because it's a great place to be and spend time. Ciao.